We are doing chapter 7 Edexcel IEL Pure Maths 2, where we're dealing with the first exercise, which is increasing and decreasing function. Okay. One thing you need to know over here is that you have a curve. Say, you have a curve which may look like this or which may look like this. Yes.
Yeah,
And the function of this curve is y is equal to something or y is equal to something, or I would say it is f of x is equal to something.
yeah,
Okay. When I am removing the derivative of this curve, okay, this y is equal to something, I am doing with respect to x. We write d by dx, which says with respect to x. I'm removing the derivative of it. That means I am finding what?
when you're removing the derivative of it, you're finding the, what's it called? The gradient, right?
You're finding the gradient. What is gradient? Gradient means the slope.
Yeah,
When I say it is the slope, I say gradient is also m. Are
yeah,
you with me?
yeah. It's because m is denoted as the gradient and y equals to m plus.
Denoted as the gradient. Very good. Mahar, now if you look at this curve over here, can you tell me the gradient will be positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive. That means I could say, since the gradient is positive, this function is increasing.
Yeah.
Hmm? For all the values of x.
Yeah.
Here, it's falling, right? So gradient
Yeah.
is positive or negative?
Gradient is negative.
The gradient is negative. So can I say the f dash x is less than or equal to 0?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I would say the gradient is positive or negative.
And then negative.
So I will say gradient is negative. Do I stop over here or I will use some other words? So I will say my gradient is negative for all values of x.
Okay.
Okay. Can you say this something for me over here? What will I say for this function?
You would
F
say that.
dash x is going to be greater than or equal to 0. So the
Mhm.
gradient is positive for all values of x.
So I would say the gradient is positive for all values of x. That means whenever I have to state whether my function is increasing or my function is decreasing, what will I do? If I am asked to state whether a function is increasing or I would say the function is decreasing, okay, they would give me a function y is equal to something and they tell me find out whether the function is increasing or decreasing. What will I do?
I will differentiate the equation.
Okay,
Okay.
you will differentiate the equation. That means you would find dy by dx, and if you are given x, you would find f dash x. Okay,
Yeah, and then once I differentiate the equation, I see if my uh, gradient is positive or negative.
okay. So the first thing that we learned today is how do we find whether a function is increasing or decreasing? You will be given y. Okay, you will find your f dash x or dy by dx. If your f dash x is greater than or equal to 0, I would say the function is increasing because the gradient is positive. Yes?
Yeah,
If my f dash x is less than or equal to 0, I would say my function is
Negative.
decreasing
Decreasing, yeah.
for all the values of x. So if I want to find whether it's an increasing function or a decreasing function, I will find my f dash x whether it is less than or equal to 0 or more than or equal to 0. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Let's see this. Tell me, what do you see over here?
I see an increasing slope.
You see an increasing slope. So I would say this is an increasing function. So f dash x will be greater than or equal to 0 for all the values of x.
Yeah.
Okay. Then it is going over here. It is still increasing.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So I would say for an increasing function, f dash x is greater than or equal to 0. But when can I say a function is strictly increasing?
When
When your
it's
f
a
of x is greater than 0 for all values of x. Okay? So for an increasing function, I would say my f dash x is greater than or equal to 0 for an increasing function. But strictly increasing, I would say f of x is greater than 0 for all values of x. Are you with me? I'm saying
yeah.
this again and again because you have to check whether your question is asking you an interval or it is asking you strictly increasing or it is asking you increasing or decreasing or it's asking you for values of x. Are you with me? Come on. Now tell me for this. How will you define it for this function?
Up until the point 23, right?
Sorry?
Up until the point 23, right?
So how will I write this function is increasing or decreasing?
It's increasing, but not for all values of x.
So what will I write over here? This function is increasing.
Increasing, yeah.
Increasing for what?
For the values of x between, we don't know the interval, but yeah.
So I would say for all the values of x before 2, or I would say less than or equal to 2, my function is increasing.
Yeah.
Mahad, are you with me?
Yeah, miss.
Okay, fine. Can you tell me for the next one?
Up until the points 4 minus 1, it's decreasing. So the gradient will be negative.
Gradient is negative, I can see from here. It's falling down. Now, how do I write about the function? Is the
Yeah,
function increasing or decreasing? For
the
this,
function is decreasing.
okay, decreasing. Decreasing for what?
X is less than or equal to 4.
When x is less than or equal to 4. But if you see over here, less than or equal to 4 means all of this.
Yeah,
So, so x should be greater than or equal to 2 and less than or equal to 4.
yeah,
Okay, so I would say my x is between, when the x is between 2 and 4, my function is decreasing.
yeah.
So can you give me the interval of the decreasing function?
2 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 4.
It would be a comma b, or I would say it is a decreasing function between 2 and 4. 2 comma 4 is the interval of the decreasing function. So it is decreasing in the interval of 2 to 4. Are you with me?
Yeah,
Okay, how about this?
For this one, it's going to be increasing.
Increasing for what?
X is greater than or equal to 4.
Okay, very good. Now, how about this point?
Which one? What about it?
When my x is equal to 2, tell me my function is increasing or decreasing?
Increasing.
Say properly.
Okay, so it's decreasing after 2.
So at 2, I'm talking x is equal to 2. That means I'm talking at x is equal to 2.
Yeah.
What is happening?
It's the turning point, right?
So at x is equal to 2, I would say my gradient is 0.
Yeah.
Okay. If I say at x is equal to 2, my gradient is 0, that means this is the turning point where it is converting from an increasing function to a decreasing function.
Yeah.
So this is also called the stationary point. Are you with me?
Yeah.
So when you are asked to find the coordinates of the turning point, stationary point, okay, what will you do? How will you find it?
If
Harris?
you want to find a point which is stationary on the graph,
Yeah. If you're asked to find the coordinates of the turning point or stationary point, what will you do?
We could use
the
the
turning
square,
point
right?
formula was
Now,
minus b divided by 2a.
Yeah.
now listen to me very carefully. You know that you can do only for quadratics, but here we are not dealing with quadratics. We will have equations with higher powers as well. So do
Oh,
you know at the turning point your gradient is 0
yeah, our gradient is going to be 0,
or gradient is 0? At the stationary point your gradient is 0. If I say my gradient is 0 means what?
which means my graph is turning towards
dy
some place.
by dx will be equal to 0.
Yeah,
Okay, so if you're asked to find the coordinates of the turning point or stationary point, what you're going to do? You're going to find your dy by dx and put it is equal to 0. And you will get your coordinates of the turning point. I hope you're with me.
yeah.
Okay, Mahad, I hope you're with me.
Yeah.
Come on, over here. What is it? X is equal to 4. What happens at x is equal to 4?
Turning.
My m is equal to 0, or I would say my f dash x is equal to 0. I hope you are with me. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So let's do a quick recap. Tell me, if you're asked to find whether a function is increasing or decreasing, what will you do?
We look at the gradient. We do dy by
Yeah,
What will
dx.
you find?
I will do dy by dx of the equation, which means differentiated.
Y by dx is greater than or equal to 0. It means my function is
Positive.
increasing.
Yeah, increasing.
Okay. If I'm asked to find whether it is decreasing or no, what will I do?
Again, I would do dy by dx. If
dy
it's
by
less than
dx.
equal to 0,
Hmm.
then that means it's decreasing.
If I'm asked to find the coordinates of the turning point or the stationary point,
I'm gonna do dy by dx and make the whole equation equal to 0, then find my coordinates accordingly.
I want to find the coordinates of the turning point, I will put dy by dx is equal to 0. Okay, this is the turning point. When I say it's the turning point, that means my function is changing from increasing to decreasing. And over here, it is changing from decreasing to increasing. Okay, are you with me?
Yeah.
The highest point is called the local maxima or maxima, and the lowest point is called the local minima. That means if they ask you to find the maximum point or the minimum point or the least value or the highest value, they're still asking you to find the turning point or the stationary point. I hope you are with me.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Come on, tell me about this function. Is it increasing or decreasing?
Increasing function.
How would you say it?
The function is increasing for all values of x.
Very good. How would you say this?
The function is decreasing for all values of x.
Can you tell me some things about an increasing function?
It has a positive gradient,
Hmm.
and when you do dy by dx, you're gonna get a positive value for all x's.
Hmm.
Okay,
And
and
if
then
to prove whether a function is increasing, what will I prove?
my f dash x is greater than or equal to 0
Okay. What
for
about a
all
decreasing
x
function
values.
for all the values of x? This is very important. Very good.
Yeah,
The interval of increasing or decreasing function would be given by a comma b, or I would say axis between a and b. This is how, when they ask you interval, you're going to state your answer. I hope you're with me.
yeah.
Mahat, can you tell me something about a decreasing function?
A decreasing function will have a negative gradient. So
Okay.
for f dash x, it will be all negative values for the x. And to prove,
Your f dash x will be less than or equal to 0.
yeah,
Okay. If it is less than or equal to 0, it means your function is decreasing for all values of x.
mm,
Okay. So if I'm asked to prove whether a function is increasing or decreasing, what will I do?
you will check the f dash of x, so the derivative. If it's less than or equal to 0,
Okay,
then
fine.
it's a decreasing
Use
function.
the words and describe me about this curve. Where is the function increasing for what values of x? Where is the function decreasing for what values of x? And what is the gradient, or where is the stationary point? Think, okay? What is this? Over here, x is equal to?
What?
At this point, my x will be equal to
0.
0. Very good. Now, can you tell me where is the function increasing? Where is the function decreasing?
Where is the function increasing and where is it decreasing?
Hmm.
So it goes up from, no, this is quadratic and it's negative.
Okay, this is you're talking about the coordinates of x square. What I am
Yeah,
asking, give me the limits. Where is the function increasing? Where is the function decreasing? Where is it stationary?
the stationary point is the turning point. If you
Yeah,
can see my screen, I've circled it. Okay.
okay.
And where it's increasing, where it's
How
decreasing,
would you write it?
yeah,
So I would say at x equal to 0, my gradient is 0.
yeah.
This is my stationary point. So you're done with the stationary point. How would you write about the increasing or decreasing function?
increasing and decreasing point.
Can you say
It's
it's
gonna,
increasing over here?
yeah, and then it's decreasing after the turning point.
It's decreasing after the turning point. So how will you write it? I would say the function is increasing for
X less than 0, less than or equal to 0.
x less than 0. At equal to 0, it is the gradient, right? It is the stationary point.
Yeah, it's a stationary point.
Okay. Mahat, can you give me the decreasing function?
Yeah. So it's
I am looking at how you're going to write. You already know this is increasing. You already know this is decreasing.
yeah.
What we are looking at, how we are going to present. Haris, can you help?
Yeah, the function is decreasing from the value x greater than 0.
Function is decreasing for x less than 0.
Yes, less than 0. My bad.
So we did three things. I said my function is increasing for x less than 0. The
Yes,
function is decreasing for x greater than 0.
yeah, greater than 0.
So when x is greater than 0, I say my function is increasing. When x is less than 0, I say my function is decreasing. And when x is equal to 0, I say it is stationary. It is neither increasing nor decreasing. I hope I
Yeah,
am clear. I'm giving you time
yeah,
to write it. So now we have this question. Okay, solve along with me. Show that the function is increasing or increasing for all real values of x. Now, a question is if I want to show that the function is increasing for all real values of x, means what do I have to show?
that means I need to set that x.
I need to show that my f dash x is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, since I have to show it is increasing, so I need to show that f dash x is greater than or equal to 0. I'll substitute the values.
Yeah.
What values I'll put in? I will put f of x that is equal to x cube plus 6x square plus 21x plus 2. I will find my f dash x. What is it? 3x square plus 6x plus 21. Okay, plus 12x plus 21 is greater than or equal to 0. Can I divide it throughout by 3? So it would be x square plus 4x plus 7 is greater than or equal to 0. I can use completing the squares. Okay, so what you're going to get, if I use the quadratic formula, then I'll get 2 brackets. So I'll use completing the squares.
Yeah, you could use.
How will I use completing the squares? I'll take x. So this is going to become plus 2 square. Then this 4 I will do minus 4 plus 7, right? Is greater than or equal to 0. So x plus 2 the whole square plus 3 is greater than or equal to 0. I need to show that the function is increasing for all real values of x. That means I need to show that this is always going to be greater than or equal to 0. Yeah? This is positive 3, so I do not have any issues with this. And the square is always greater than or equal to 0 for all real values of x. So I would write x plus 2 the whole square is always greater than or equal to 0 for all real values. Yeah, you have to write this, okay? So therefore I can conclude that x plus 2 the whole square plus 3 is greater than or equal to 0. You have to write it. For all real values of x. Therefore, I would say f of x is increasing. Try the second one for yourself. I'll give you time. Now, in this question, what is it? You have to find the interval. Okay? Interval in which this function is decreasing. When they've asked you to find the interval, that means you have to find the value of x.
Yeah.
Okay? So, one thing, what is the difference between this question and this question?
They have mentioned that the function is increasing.
Even over here, they mention it is increasing. Even over here, they mention it is decreasing. But did you find x in this question?
No. This one is asking us to find the interval.
But here they've asked you to find the interval, so you're going to find the value of x. You have to start with the given thing. They have told you that this function is decreasing. Since they have told you this function is decreasing, that means they've told you that f dash x is going to be less than or equal to 0. Okay? So we find the f dash x first. What is your f dash x?
My f dash
Plus 6x minus 9. Okay? F of x is decreasing. Therefore, 3x square plus 6x minus 9 is going to be less than or equal to 0. Now I have to find the values of x. You can put it directly in your calculator. Okay, and you're going to get x is equal to minus 3 or x is equal to 1. So I need to find the interval in which this function is decreasing. So I would say, therefore, f of x is decreasing in the interval. Which interval? Minus 3 comma 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Now two sums for you to solve. Can you just tell me orally how would you do this?
In the first one, I would do.
First, what will you do?
First, I will mention the f of x. Then I will differentiate the equation.
Okay, you find f dash x. What is your f dash x? Do it. $16. Now they've told you that f of x is increasing. Write it along with me. F of x is increasing for all real values of x. Therefore, f dash x would be greater than or equal to 0. You'll write anything else besides it? For all real values of x, then therefore 3x plus 16, 3x square, right? Is greater than or equal to 0 for all real values of x. Can you tell me, do I need to say anything? This is positive 16, so I don't need to state. And this 3x square, because it is an x square, it is always going to be positive. Yeah. So I would say, therefore, f of x is increasing. Here, the question was, I need to show that it is increasing. There, they had mentioned that it is already increasing. So here, I need to prove. What I need to prove? That f dash x is greater than or equal to 0. And then I say, therefore, f of x is increasing. Can you do the next one?